Hello and welcome to this edition of Point Counterpoint. We have deviated slightly and gone to another field, the field of sports. But this discussion is also about pride. It's not just about sports, it's about pride, it's about Goa's sporting history, it's about the legacy that we have, and the unfortunate either attempts or the unfortunate situation that we are in, where Goa's footballing pride has been hurt. And we are talking about an interesting case that has come to light and has doing the rounds now. And this is about the apparent gold missing from the very well-known and the prestigious trophy named after Dayanand Bandodkar, Goa's first Chief Minister. Now, this particular trophy, the Bandodkar Trophy, was supposed to be, and there is no reason to doubt it by and large, was supposed to be the most glittering and the richest trophy that India ever has. And while the valuation of the trophy way back in the late 60s and 70s was about 20 lakhs, that valuation must have gone up hugely because the trophy has about 11 kgs of gold by and large, which is much more than even the FIFA World Cup, the gold in the FIFA World Cup. Under the current valuation, it could go as much as 25-30 crores. We never even know because of the 11 kgs of gold, and with the value of gold right now, the valuation could be in terms of multiple crores, which of course makes it into a huge thing. The controversy at hand is apparent, and the controversy that's been raised by the current GFA President Churchill Alimau is that the gold in that trophy is no longer there. The trophy does not have that gold. The charge is that gold somehow seems to have mysteriously disappeared from the trophy when the valuation of the trophy was about 20 lakhs, and all the circumstances that were behind it. The controversy has again kind of cropped up suddenly, primarily because of the absolute prestige and honor that this particular Dayanand Bandodkar Trophy has. And after so many years, when we don't have that, and the cup was kind of played between 1970 to 1992, barring the 3 years of 85, 87 and 89. Those are 3 years when the tournament was not played. But during that time, it was one of the most glorious tournaments that Goa hosted. That was actually, the cup was given as a challenge by the All India Football Federation to Goa to know whether Goa could really host a tournament of a national scale, and how wonderfully Goa did. Anyway, to talk about all these things, we have three very eminent panelists. We'll also talk about people who did not make it, but let's start with the people who did come. One is Peter Wallace. He, of course, has played at the Bandodkar Trophy, has been a part of a winning squad. He was in Vasco club. Legendary, absolutely legendary first Goan coach. He's been the first Goan coach who has won a Santosh Trophy for Goa. So, of course, in terms of pedigree, he's absolutely right on top. Next to him is Uday Bhatkekar. He's a former mayor of Panjim, of course, of CCP, of course, but he is a professional goldsmith, and he's probably one of the very few people who has actually evaluated that cup, and he has some very interesting observations which is going to throw a different spin to it. And last but not the least, we have Anthony Barbosa, who's a executive committee member of the Goa Football Association, and is very, very passionate and vocal about the whole issue. Before we begin, this particular room or studio would have had one more chair or one more place to sit, because we definitely wanted more representation from the top echelons of the Goa Football Association. Of course, Churchill Alimau was traveling, but he did not, so he could not make it. But see, we spoke to Anthony Pango, the vice president. We spoke to Welville Menezes, who's former general secretary, then Dominic Pereira, another committee member, and so on and so forth. And we also spoke to the general secretary of on what basis, on what grounds, all of them made various excuses, one would say it, to not to be here. The interesting part is that the Goa Football Association needs a representation and a voice, because we need to speak to stakeholders of during those times. Even Elvis Gomes, who was the president of the GFA when this whole trophy was taken out of the vault, of the bank. We'll talk about that later. Even he said he wasn't available. So we really wonder what were the compulsions that these gentlemen had not to come in, because that would have enhanced the capacity of the debate and thrown more light. But anyway, having said that, I will start first with Anthony, because he's kind of been raising that issue, and of course I'll go to Uday Bab and Peter Bab. Anthony, if you can just sum up the situation, and why is this issue such a major point of discussion?
See, actually what happened, this trophy was started in 1970.
Yes.
And till 1994 it was the tournament was held, but in 1995 to 2015 it was not held, due to various reasons. I don't know why it was not held. And in 2016, that time our GFA president was Elvis Gomes. That time they bought this trophy for the Federation Cup. The Federation Cup was going on, to display. I don't know why to display this trophy in public. I was also not aware why they have bought it. And in that year they had hold this tournament, Bandodkar Trophy, and later on this trophy was not went in the bank.
Yes,
locker.
I'll tell you. See, on the 3rd of January 2015, Elvis Gomes wrote a letter to Kushal Das, who was the AIFF General Secretary at that point of time, seeking permission to take this particular trophy out of the bank locker of the central bank and display it at both the venues of the Federation Cup, I think either venues of the Federation Cup, on January 7th. This permission was sought via email written to Kushal Das on the 3rd of January 2015. Kushal Das immediately gave permission for it, and the reason was to basically to revive the whole memory of the Bandodkar Cup. That is one interesting point that was written, that this letter came out on January 3rd. What is interesting is that 2 days later, on January 5th, 2015, there was a person called Mark Barreto. Mark Barreto was from the Boomerang Sports Club. It is so understood that at the same time in 2015, Elvis Gomes and the GFA were trying to revive the Bandodkar Trophy again, and they had taken a presentation. They wanted to present and brand the Bandodkar Trophy again and revive it and bring it back to its former glory. So there was a big branding exercise going on to get a professional agency to come and brand it. Boomerang Sports Club decided to pitch for this thing. This is just 2 days after. January 3rd, he writes to Kushal Das wanting to display the trophy. January 5th, this letter from Boomerang Sports Club comes to the presentation. The request to present is put by Boomerang Sports Club. What is very interesting here is that the Boomerang Sports Club in its presentation said that this could be marketed, this particular trophy could be marketed as one of the richest trophies in India, and it should be marketed as a gold trophy. So the revival of the Bandodkar Club, Bandodkar tournament, it was not a revival based on footballing glory or whatever. The revival was based on the richness of the trophy. So what is interesting is that at that particular point of time, the GFA very clearly said that it's one of the richest trophies, thereby admitting that the trophy had gold. According to this correspondence, that because I deeply studied it, the whole thing last night, this correspondence itself and the letter of the Boomerang Sports Club also indicates that the marketing of this would be done as, that this would be done. So I'm just coming to you, Uday Bab, before I come back to you. There was a time, I think there was sometime in the year 2015 when the GFA president approached you to value this particular trophy. What did you as a goldsmith do?
Actually, it was one of the member of GFA, Sanju Nagwekar, he is my best friend.
Yes. Okay.
And he has called me.
Yes.
And as a goldsmith,
right.
I had gone there GFA office.
And Sanju Nagwekar was
Sanju Nagwekar, he was that time is a GFA member.
Okay.
Executive member.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
हांव ते चेक करपाक गेलो म्हणजे तेका एक हें आसली एल्विस गोम्साक की ही ट्रॉफी गोल्ड जाल्यार हेजो हे व्हॅल्यू आतां कितें आसतलो
रायट
कितें जातलो व्हॅल्यू
रायट
म्हणून हांवें ती चॅक केली आनी चॅक करता आसतना म्हाका तो डावट ही गोल्ड न्ही म्हणून हांवें तरी सांगलें हाका ही गोल्ड न्ही म्हणून तरी म्हणले म्हाका परत ती चॅक करची पडटली ती विथ सारकी एसीड हे बी
No,
करून
no, my question
No,
is,
no, I'll come to you. Let him finish.
मागीर हांवें चॅक केली हांवें सांगली गोल्ड न्ही म्हणून इट्स गोल्ड प्लेटेड तरी आसतना ताका सांगलें हांवें तूं आनी कोणाक हाडून चॅक कर म्हाज्या एकट्याचेर रावूं नाका कित्याक एल्वीस गोमसाक ते हें आसलें वॉट यू हॅव स्पोकन जस्ट नाव दॅट ही वॉन्ट टू स्टार्ट दॅट अगेन दॅट रिवायव एवरीथींग एल्वीस गोम ही वॉज ऑल्सो शॉक्ड ना त्या टायमार तो ताका शॉक बसलो सारको अरे हे अशें कशें काय म्हणून मागीर ताका सांगलें तूं आनी कोणाक हाडून चॅक कर कित्याक व्हडलो कंट्रोवर्सी इश्यू न्ही तो तेणें मागीर म्हाका आनी कोणाक चॅक केलें तेणें मागीर म्हाका सांगलें हाणें गोल्ड प्लेटेड म्हणून
Right.
सपोज त्या टायमार समज 11 kg गोल्ड जाल्यार म्हाका दिसता आतां ती व्हॅल्यू 5 crores 50 to 6 crores आतां व्हॅल्यू जावंक जाय
Right.
एज पर प्रेझेंट रेट
But Udaybab, tell me, that point of time, did you discuss or were you aware of whether any valuation of that cup has been done or not? Before that, was there any valuation done of the cup?
नो आय हॅव आस्क एल्वीस तो म्हणटा ना आपणें आतांच हाडला आपल्याकूय कांय खबर नासली आपणें आतां हाडल्या आनी ती आपल्याक आतां ती पळोवंक ना केन्ना हाडल्या खंयच्या दिसा हाडल्या ती एक्चुअली म्हाका कांय खबर ना पूण केन्ना हाडलेली ती पूण ताका ती एक त्या टायमार ती म्हणजे आतां ती परत स्टार्ट करता आतां कितें व्हॅल्यू आसतलो
So there was no official valuation done.
No. It was an unofficial call.
What is interesting here for our viewers is that on the 16th of April 2009, Savio Messias, who was the secretary of the GFA for the first time, he actually wrote a letter to the GFA itself, to the GFA committee, saying that there is a need. He said, I stress upon the need to get the valuation of the gold trophy done. Because the issue is that he, as GFA secretary at that point of time, he said, please let us get the valuation of the whole thing done at that point of time. Because obviously the tournament was not happening that time. So obviously from time to time, different people in responsible positions have kind of stressed that, look, let us get the valuation done and see how much it is worth. There obviously must have been some doubt at some point of time as to whether the trophy is as valuable or not valuable. Because that is important, because the fact that everybody thought that there was some value to it, that has been borne out in several correspondence, which shows that nobody ever thought that the trophy was not valuable at that point of time. If you look at from the records, I'll give you another piece of document which I've got. There was an advocate called Albino Wallace. Okay, he was, I think, part of the GFA. Albino Wallace, on the 20th of July 2015, he again wrote to the GFA saying that I was shocked to read in the Herald, our own newspaper, that the particular trophy has been taken out of the bank vault of the central bank and taken without escort, to wherever, to either to display the venue. This was a letter written by an advocate, Albino Wallace, on the 20th of July 2015.
Sorry, he is his brother.
Correct.
Albino Wallace is his
Good.
brother.
No, I'm good you said that. Now, Albino Wallace also had a doubt. He also wrote a letter. And what is important in Albino Wallace's letter is, he says that according to him, the trophy is valued at least 2 to 3 crores in 2015. That was his assessment. So even then, now Albino, was he associated with the GFA?
Yeah, he was associated with GFA.
Okay, at that point 2015?
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
So again, the point here is, what I'm trying to say is, if you look at a chronology samjhiye, as one great man says, chronology samjhiye means if you look at 2029, Savio Messias' letter says, let us get the evaluation done, because he felt that there's some value in it. Then you have Advocate Wallace's letter on 20th of July 2015, where he again expresses shock at the Herald report, and he says, look, this is valued at least 2 to 3 crores. Okay, it would be much more than that.
That time 2-3 crores
was fine.
If it is 11 kg gold.
It is 11 kg gold, you're saying is 25.
Yes, correct.
2-3 crores.
Right now, Udaybab, okay, so I'm just mentioning, right now, Udaybab, can you tell me what would be the value of this particular trophy?
If it is 11 kg, now it will be 5 crores 50 lakhs or 5 crores 70 lakhs.
5 crores 70 lakhs.
Yes.
Correct. Okay, so that would be the value. Okay. It's not so much, okay.
Yeah.
So the issue is, okay, so that would be the value. Now, coming back to you, there are two ways of looking at it. One is, okay, before I go to, I have to go to Peter Wallace. Peter Wallace, he has not spoken yet. Peter Wallace, before I go to him, Firstly, let us look at the legacy and the history of the Bandodkar Trophy. See, the Bandodkar Trophy
Yeah.
was just introduced with a lot of passion. Nobody thought Goa could ever do it.
Yeah.
If you look at it, it has seen some wonderful players in the first instance.
Yes.
For instance, if you recall and you would know the wizardry of Inder Singh, who played for the Leaders Club of Jalandhar.
Yes.
In fact, I think he won the tournament completely with his own feet.
Yes.
And so Inder Singh's, in fact, I remember I read and people have said that if you see Inder Singh could score goal and no goalkeeper could stop him.
Exactly.
Even the Salgaonkar goalkeeper at that point of time, he had a clean sheet till he met Inder Singh.
Yeah.
And only in the finals, which was played in 2 legs.
Yeah.
In the first leg it was 1-1, second leg it was 1-0.
I was young that time, sir.
You were young, but I'm saying in both the times. So I'm only asking you to recall some.
Yeah,
some
I've seen the final.
Interesting memories of
Memories,
that.
yeah.
Tell us.
Yeah, I was a student that time, sir, and I've seen the trophy playing big teams were coming here.
Yes, yes.
East Bengal also.
Correct.
And that time Vasco Club was a great team, ABCD, Andrew Cartown, Dominic Berner.
Yes.
So they had a very good side, and I privileged to play with them at the age of 18 years.
Correct.
And I joined 71 Vasco Club till 75.
Yes.
And I privileged to play in the final for Bandodkar Gold Cup in Kampal ground.
Yes.
And we won that cup beating Dempo Sports Club. And we were young that time. We wanted to touch that cup. When we won, we were so excited, and I have photos also.
Yes.
So police were there. They were not allowing us to go to touch that
Even
cup.
as winners, you could not touch the
No,
cup.
but afterwards they gave us to take photos and
Right,
all,
right,
and
right.
immediately they took and they gave a replica for us.
Correct.
Yeah, so it was very, and it was one of the best cup I think in India that
Right,
time. After Nizam Gold Cup, Seth Naqvi Gold Cup, Chakola Gold Cup, and this was the cup, Bandodkar Gold Cup. Inder Singh,
So from time to
Mogan
time-
Singh,
Yes.
Rajasthan.
Yes, of
he
course.
also a great player.
Yes.
All the topmost teams played in that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
So tell me, from time to time, many people and many clubs have expressed the hope that this particular trophy has to be revived.
Revive, yeah.
Okay. So the issue is that what does the football fraternity feel that this particular controversy over the gold of the club that has hurt people? Has it people feel that the whole value of the past has gone down because of this?
No, what happened nowadays, a lot of money is required to organize tournaments also, and
Right.
teams also asking a lot of money. That
Right.
time teams used to go, they wanted to participate in more tournaments, but nowadays they demand money, participating money and all sort of money.
Right.
So now if they revive revive this tournament, we would have been the happiest person because we have played this trophy also, and revive during the I-League or ISL, bring some teams and to have this tournament again. It will be a great boost for Goan football to see again Bandodkar Trophy, but since it is going controversy, it will be difficult.
No, we are in a very interesting situation where Anthony Barbosa and many others feel that where has the gold gone?
Yeah, because of
Uday Bab very interestingly says that all that glitters is not gold; it is gold plated. So the issue, there are two observations. This is also an interesting observation because he must have given his professional eye and felt it. So it is quite possible that when you saw it, the gold was not there.
Not there, yeah.
Okay, but when the trophy first came, the gold came. So whether the gold was not, gold obviously was there from the first place. There's no denying the fact that it was a full gold plate, because you cannot doubt what Bhau Sahib did and the valuation. Now, Anthony, tell me two things. One is what could have really happened, and why didn't the GFA realize it all this while? Because from 92 onwards, so many years have already passed. Okay, we are almost 30 years down the line. My point is, why was this issue never raised? Because so many people have been in the GFA for a long time. Okay, Joki Alema was there. And people like Churchill and others have been involved in this football fraternity for a long time. Many people have been there. The current dispensation, they have seen it all. They've been associated with football for a very long time. My point is, why has this issue not been raised for a long time Why now?
See, I was been COPT member last 2 years.
Right.
After the departure of our late Sri Santarita Coelho, then
Right.
I was been
Right.
nominated in this GFA.
Right.
From that time, I was asking Churchill Alemma, where is this Bandodkar Trophy? Where it is gone? So he told me one day that the trophy has been kept in GFA store. So I was wonder why this trophy, 20 lakhs worth. This is the book was written by GFA, the
Right.
souvenir.
Right.
In this book, everything story is there. You have
Right.
seen this.
Yes. Yes.
The worth of this trophy is 20 lakh that time.
Then, yes.
That time.
Yes.
So every time when the Bandodkar Trophy was held, only final day the trophy is to bring at the ground.
Right.
And it is escorted by the police team.
That's right.
Behind and front. Sometimes it is brought through helicopters also on the ground. And after the final held, trophy again
back to the bank.
Back.
Yeah. Okay.
So now question arises, in 2016, the trophy was brought by that president and the committee.
Yes.
But without police escort. This is the biggest question.
From
Why?
where to where? From the bank
From
to?
bank to on this thing,
GFA
they are saying
office.
GFA, GFDC. I have the recordings. They were saying we will take this trophy to GFDC.
Right.
Why in GFDC?
So you are
this
saying
trophy
in
belongs to
2016 it was moved from the bank to the
GFDC.
GFDC. Okay.
As per the talks of
Right,
the
right,
president. I have the video
Right.
where he was talking
right.
while bringing
Yeah,
out of
unfortunately,
the...
he is not there. We would have liked to ask him what was the reason for it.
Yeah. So
if at
okay, he has bought it for the revived and start the tournament again. No issues.
Right.
But see, as our Goldsmith said,
all.
he has
Valued it.
valued it unofficially. He said,
Correct. Well,
Yeah,
which year did you value it?
Huh?
Which year did you value it?
I think it is 2016 or 2015.
After it was taken from the locker.
yeah,
After,
as a
yeah.
goodwill, he said,
yes.
one Narvekar
Narvekar,
GFA
Sanju
executive
Narvekar.
contacted
Correct.
him,
He was
the
my
president
friend. He was my
contacted, and he
friend, yeah.
valued it.
Correct.
My question is
Not
this-
for valuation, but to find out.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
whatever
Find
maybe,
out,
whatever.
yes.
See, my question is now, big question. Why they have not sent letter to the Goldsmith?
Right.
Just come, value this and give us certificate.
Yeah.
Correct.
Where is this?
So you're saying thus far, this cup has not even been, the value of the cup has not been certified.
And now that trophy is lying in GFA store.
Right.
GFA store, and on the lock, they put it in the wooden box.
Right.
And the key, and it is locked. And there is one sticker pasted on this. It has to be signed by President, General Secretary and Treasurer. The signature was then General Secretary and 2 staff. How come staff is signing on this worth crores of rupees trophy? Who has allowed them to sign?
Right.
So there is something fishy. We have doubt. And all the people of Goa is wondering why this trophy is, these issues are coming. It is gold. So I contacted so many players. Now Peter Wallis also told you, when they won the trophy, they're not allowed to touch. So where this gold now goes?
आता कितें जातलें पळय आतां गोल्ड त्या टायमार पळय आतां बँक तुका व्हॅल्यू करना लॉकरान कोण दवरता पळय तेजे एक रिकॉर्ड आसतलो बँके कडेन सगळो म्हणजे ते लॉकर नंबर खंयचो आसता पळय फाल्यां हांव सुद्दां एक लॉकर ओपन करून गेलो म्हाका लॉकर नंबर दिता आनी हांव एवरी टायम केन्ना येता आनी बुकार सायन खंयचो टायम बीम घालता खंयच्या टायमार सायन करून घेता खंयच्या टायमार सगळो रिकॉर्ड मेळटलो त्या लास्ट केन्ना दवरलेली कोणें दवरलेली त्या टायमार कोण आसलो हें मागीर कोणें काडली लास्ट टायमार दवरलेली तेन्ना कितके फाटी दवरली आनी लास्ट टायम आतां हो मॅटर ऑफ इन्वेस्टिगेशन
Yes, exactly.
Right.
See, we are not blaming anyone.
now
Right.
this is a matter of investigation.
Correct.
Police has to investigate.
Yes.
Right.
पुलिशेन
In this regard-
पुलिशेन आता ते फाइंड आउट करूंक जाय
In this regard,
आता ती खरीच गोल्ड हाडून थंय दवरलेली काय मागीर ही हाडून दवरली गोल्ड ट्रॉफी आता
that we don't know.
तेच मॅटर ऑफ
Investigation
इन्व्हेस्टिगेशन
will-
आम्ही आता ते काय म्हणू शकना आम्ही कोणाक ब्लेमूय करू
I'm
शकना
not blaming anyone.
Ah.
All you're
I-
saying is there should be investigation as to where has the gold gone.
In
if it
this
has gone.
regard,
Right.
we have contacted our legal lawyer and we will do.
So you're saying as GFA has reason to believe, Ryan, the current GFA has reason to believe that the gold in that trophy no longer exists. Is that
Yes.
what you feel?
Yes.
By sheer visual checking of the trophy?
yeah it is 100% is gold plated
Right.
not in solid gold
Correct. So what is important is that, you know, a seasoned goldsmith who has seen it after it's come out of the locker. Because see, the idea is very simple. It is clear logic. If it was just gold plated, it wouldn't have been in the locker for so many days.
Correct.
That's the point. So the fact that it was not gold plated earlier is clear based on what you're saying, right? Now the other issue, interesting part is that, you know, in sometime in 2007-8, there was this proposal, either it came from within the GFA or elsewhere, in 2008, and there are documents to that effect, that there was a proposal that the trophy be sold to revive grassroots football and to either have a little stadium or have a grassroots football movement to revive it by selling it, because the finances of the GFA were not. This happened in 2008. I don't know whether you are aware of it or not, but documents say that this has happened. Now, keep that aside for the time being. I'm essentially saying is that to revive Goan football, okay, don't you think enough should be done to, you know, bring in finances, bring in sponsors, bring in good people, so that, you know, you don't have to sell your family jewels to support Goan football?
Exactly, sir, you're right. Yeah, sponsor they should have seen.
Yes.
Find out to have the grassroots level. And there were so many people, Dempo, Salonker would have given something.
Correct.
They have approached and they are always there.
Correct.
To help football in Goa.
Yes.
And SEZA also at present, they are also helping a lot in women's football and keeping up. So they should have, that time committee should have approached for sponsors. But selling this gold, it is a remembrance of late Bandodkar Gold Cup.
Yes.
To sell, it is, in my opinion, I don't think.
So luckily that this particular proposal did not see the light of day, but the fact that it was made,
and also I think that official valuation should have been done that time.
Correct.
Official.
Yes.
Official valuation सांगूंक जाय आसलें बाबा कळपाक लोकांक पब्लिकाक बाबा हे ट्रॉफी ही आतां अशी आसा आतां रिकॉर्ड सेस इट वॉज 11 kg. That time in 1970 it was valued as a 20 lakhs.
But see, what my question is, who knows if there is, we cannot say there is no valuation.
Right.
There will be valuation. That file is missing. Maybe from the JFA or from anywhere. We don't know now. There is fishy in this.
Okay, the Bandodkar Trophy represents the legacy of Goan football. There's a lot of sentiment attached to it. Secondly, if a trophy is so rich in gold, in fact, it's the richest trophy ever in India, and the amount of gold that was there on the on the Bandodkar Trophy. Let me again remind Goans, is that the amount of gold on that trophy, 11 kgs, is more than the gold which is there in the FIFA World Cup. And the FIFA World Cup has roughly about 6 kgs of gold in it. The Bandodkar Trophy has 11 kgs of gold in it. That itself is a huge thing. It's probably one of the most, used to be one of the most richest trophies in terms of gold on it. So one can understand the valuation and the legacy and the sentiment. That is the reason why Herald TV as a channel decided to pick it, because it is not an ordinary trophy. Because with that trophy, there are a lot of feeling, sentiment, history, everything attached to it. And the fact that this particular Bandodkar Trophy is literally lying in one corner of the GFA storeroom, and the shocking part here is that the gold which is there on the trophy is not there, and Uday Bab Matkekar, who in his own capacity, a personal capacity, had done a check on it when he was called by the GFA president, had said it's gold plated, and that is where the matter lies. Of course, there are questions as to why it is being raised now. What happened all these years? These can be valid questions, but these questions cannot take away from the fact that these questions have to be raised. That is the point. That you can say why now, but you cannot ever question somebody who's raising these questions because of the reasons that I've just said. And that is the reason I'll start this section again with Peter Bab, because tell us about what these trophies used to mean for you as young footballers. In terms of, because at the end of the day you have to showcase your skills and all that. For you, these trophies were like playing in the World Cup.
Exactly, sir.
Tell us more about it.
Yeah, see, when we entered final Bandodkar Gold Cup,
yes,
and I was so happy to play that final and to win that final Bandodkar Gold Cup. It was one of the famous tournaments. A lot of Olympians, or a lot of even India players played in this tournament. And we were young. With that team, 9 out of 18 players, now 11 players are no more. They are died.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And we were
The team that won the
Bandodkar, last
Yes,
Bandodkar Vasco Club won.
Correct, correct.
Yeah. So I was so happy when we won that cup, and we rushed to the near cup to touch, but
Right.
they have not allowed us to touch that cup. Then the police
Correct,
came and
correct,
they allowed us, and we removed a photo. Still, I have got that photo here with me.
Right.
So that was my ambition, and I was so happy that time.
Tell us, on this particular note, we'll go back to the topic at hand, but since you're there, I'll take this opportunity to ask you this. Compare the football that was happening in Goa at that point of time and now. What do you feel is missing? Because you're still involved with Goan football. You're coaching the Churchill Brothers Cup team.
Yeah.
So the point is that what is the difference between then and now? Because at this point of time, of course, you have different tournaments coming up. You have the ISL and so on and so forth. But how important was club football then at that point of time?
That time we used to play for passion and love for football, sir.
Correct.
But nowadays a lot of distraction has come up in the football. Lot of TV, mobiles, and a lot of...
and the money was not much. It was just
not
passion,
much,
right?
not much. We were traveling by fish tempos.
Right.
To crossing 2 ferries to play in Mapsa, Dular ground. We used to have matches in Dular ground, and Kampal ground, and Vasco Tiller ground, and Margao MCC ground.
Right.
So we used to go by those small tempos that time.
The whole team used to travel by tempo.
Tempos.
Right.
Morning they used to take fish, Margao to sell. They have to come wash, and we used to travel to cross 2 ferries.
The same fish tempos.
Same fish tempos is watch, and we used to travel. And
That's how the Vasco team used to go.
passion, yeah.
Okay.
2 ferries. One is Agas here, our Mandovi, and one is Zuari.
Right.
So we used to cross, and we used to go, and we used to play football. But now is a lot of distractions and a lot of I told you, phones and all.
And you had salaries. You were paid a monthly amount.
Yeah, we have very less salary. We were not bothered about our salaries and all.
Right,
And boots, we used to have leather studs. And now a lot of 5,000, 10,000, that time 60, 70, 80 rupees boot pair.
Right.
And woolen socks.
Right.
And nothing. But people used to come to see our football. But
Right.
nowadays people are getting a lot of TV also have come, sir, nowadays.
But
And
that was your
they-
only profession. Your earnings were through football only, or you were doing other things?
No, nothing. Only football. Only
Right.
football.
But then you're
That's
young,
150, 250 rupees we used to get.
Right.
71 to 75. Then
Right.
I joined Porters.
Right.
Yeah. Then I used to get something. Then I played for Porters many years.
Right.
And as a coach, I can proudly say Goan first team to beat Porters is Mohan Bagan from among
Yes,
Goan.
right.
Under me.
Right.
Mohan Bagan first team.
To beat Port Trust.
Porters team defeated Mohan
Porters
Bagan.
defeated Mohan Bagan, right,
Then
right.
we defeated.
In
I
which tournament was this? Santosh?
In Bandodkar
In
Gold
Bandodkar-
Cup.
Bandodkar only, yes.
I was the coach that time.
Right.
After I retired, I
Right.
joined Porters.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you also coached a team in the Bandodkar Cup?
Yeah. MPT team, Porters team.
Right.
Yeah. And first Goan team to beat Mohan Bagan.
Right.
In Goa. Afterwards, Salonga, Cesar Goa, Dempo, and all other team defeated. As a player, I couldn't beat Mohan Bagan, played 2 final Bandodkar Trophy.
Yes.
Once in Guwahati. Guwahati, yeah. So Bandodkar Trophy it was. As a player, we lost Mohan Bagan. And again, as a Vasco club, we lost Mohan Bagan 74.
But as a coach, you beat them.
And as a coach, we have defeated.
See, there is a lot of pride and passion you can make out from from him, the way he talks about his past, and that is what the. Uday, tell me, see, things you are also a senior politician. You know what governance is. Do you feel that when these kind of controversies happen, it also reflects that by government I don't mean any particular party, whoever is in government, it couldn't be any party. The importance to the legacy of sports, because sports is also our cultural heritage. Only buildings are not a heritage. Sports also is a cultural heritage. Do you admit that subsequent governments have not seen the value of sports as a cultural heritage, or value of football especially as a cultural heritage, and what is the mistake that politicians have done, and what can governments do to correct it?
Well, just now Peter Baban म्हणलं अशें की दॅट टायम म्हणजे तो कसो खेळ्ळा,
राईट.
कसो फेरीबोट क्रॉस करून वतालो, कशें वतालो. आज जग खूब फुडें पावला. टीव्ही, मोबायल, घरान बसून मॅच पळोवंक मेळटा, स्टेडियमार वचपाची गरज ना. दॅट थिंग हॅज नाव चेंज.
करेक्ट.
लोकांक आनी लोक आज पयलीं कशे, पयलीं ल्हान ल्हान भुरगे खेळपाक वताले पयलीं. आतां हे टीव्हीच्या हितून आयल्यार स्पोर्ट्स हेच लोकांचे मायंडसेटूच चेंज जाला.
राईट.
लोकांक ती आतां हें उरूना उमेद. लोक आतां गेम्स आनी कितें त्या हितूनच उरल्या मोबायलाचेर. स्पोर्ट्स हितून कमी जाल्या. आनी आतां आमी पयलीं ल्हानपणा पासून पळयताले, आमी शेतान खेळटाले, फुटबॉल भुरगे खेळूंक येताले. भुरग्यां कडेन बूट सुद्दां आसनाले घालपाक, क्रिकेट जावं आनी कितें आसूं, लोक आपले ते बॅट सुद्दां हाडटले जाल्यार पयशे आसनासले. आज सगळे कडेन स्पॉन्सरशीप मेळटा, सगळें मेळटा. दॅट चेंज. आनी गोवोरमेंटान एक्चुली आतां स्पोर्ट्साक सारके फूल फुटबॉल म्हणटा ते आमचे गोंयचे एक हें म्हणटा आमी कशें शीतकडी आमचें जेवण, तशें एक शीतकडी फाटोफाट फुटबॉल. फुटबॉल म्हणजे लोकांचो एक हें, म्हणजे लोक सारको आमी बांदोडकार हेजेर ग्रावंडार पयलींचे आतां म्हणला तो पणजेच्या ग्रावंडार बसून फुटबॉल पळयता. ल्हान आसतना येताले आमी आनी पळोवंक बसताले, फुटबॉल खेळटाले, प्रॅक्टीस चालू आसतालें आसताली. एक उमेद कशी आसली, ती उमेद हाडपाक गोवोरमेंटान खंय तरी एक परत हे स्पोर्ट्स कल्चर ही आतां गेमी पयलींच्यो गोंयच्यो आतां पयलीं संतोश ट्रॉफी आनी खंयचे आमी जेन्ना आयकताले फुटबॉल ही परत रिवायव करूंक जाय सगळें.
करेक्ट.
एवरीथिंग हॅज टू बी रिवायव.
एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट.
एवरीथिंग. एक स्पोर्ट्स एक आमचो गोवन फेमस न्ही पयलीं पासून फुटबॉलाक. आतां म्हणल्यार आफ्टर शीतकडी आमचे फुटबॉल गोंयांत सारके म्हणजे इतके फामाद, ते आतां परत गोंयांत गोवोरमेंटान रिवायव करूंक जाय. खंयचो गोवोरमेंट आसूं, गोवोरमेंटान रिवायव करूंक जाय. आनी एक ते फुटबॉल हे आमचे एक गेम आमची ती एक लोकांची पेशन, लोकांक दिसताले आमी आपूण एक फुटबॉलर जावचो.
राईट.
खूब जाण आज आमचो ब्रह्मानंद एक बरो फामाद हे जावन गेलो गोलकीपर. एक तशें सगळ्यांक उमेद आसता आपूण आतां खुबशे जाण आतां गेमींग खेळटा, खंयच्या क्लबाक खेळटा, खंयच्या क्लबाक आमकां एक उमेद दिसता आमचो गोंयकार आमच्या टिमींग आसा, खंय तरी आसा बी म्हणून. तशें आपण गव्हर्मेंट हॅज टू revive everything. Yes,
very seriously.
Yes.
The other issue, Andrima, again I'll come back to the issue, but just on this theme of revival of football, the trophy is one thing, of course, but don't you think, see, the issue is right now everybody wants to kind of join a major club and play ISL. It's the same problem is there in cricket also. Cricket, every youngster wants to join an IPL team and you ultimately end up much more money than being in the reserves of the Indian side also. Okay, so the thing is that same thing coming into Goan football? And I'll ask Peter about that a young footballer, ultimately he wants to be in part of some rich club, and play ISL. Even if you are in the squad of 25 in any of the big ISL clubs, you'll still earn enough money by even being on the bench. So what can the GFA do to start promoting and grassroots football in a more competitive way, so that money can come in, sponsors can come in, because that is extremely important to bring in funds into the GFA.
See what happened in our late Chief Minister Manohar Parrikar. He has declared Goa football as a Goan official sports. And from that time he made scheme for the I-League clubs to get benefits and to bring more footballers in, these young footballers. But in that also some issue has happened. I-League clubs means he made a scheme like 3 crores for per club.
Right.
That time 4 clubs were there: Salgaonkar, Dempo, Chechil Brothers and Sporting. But unfortunately, because of this ISL, these 3 clubs not taken part in I-League. I'm talking about I-League.
You're talking about I-League.
Yeah.
So
they not played in I-League.
Correct.
Only Chechil Brothers played in I-League.
Correct.
Then big issue had come. Why government is giving Chechil 3 crores? It is not for Chechil. It is for Chechil Brothers, and that was a scheme.
Right.
This scheme was done by late Parrikar. Now.
So you're saying that I-League also needs a lot of attention. It needs to be revived completely.
And this current CM,
yes,
as you said, government has to help. I'm telling you, I'm a GFA member. This current CM, Dr. Pramod Sawant, is very good, young leader, and he wants sports to grow and football to grow. He has given us GFA 50 lakhs during COVID period. Actually, GFA was not having funds. We met him, Chechil Alemo and all the. We told him these problems are there. He immediately released us 50 lakh. I appreciate, because this CM is for sports, and football is his passion, and he wants football to develop. In everything, now in this season also he will give 50 lakhs. We already send him letters and all.
Right.
So it is not like that government is not helping us. Government is helping us, and government is now this our new sports minister Govind Gowde is roaming everywhere to revive sports. He's going early morning. He's going Fatarda, the Ponda Sports Complex, and he checking everything. So he wants to develop, means promote football and other sports also.
Peter, I'll come to them after this. Just wanted to discuss with you. See, as a coach, do you feel that there are enough trainers, enough coaches? See, for instance, in every village there is a village football club.
Yes, sir.
Now, do you feel that every village has a club, or there are many villages that don't have the club? So you need to develop it at the village level first, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes,
so
sir.
what can you can do? What can GFA can do? What can you do to revive it?
First of all, sir, they must appoint qualified coaches who have done licensed coaches, NIS coaches,
Right.
and they must spot the players, and they must have every Saturday or Sunday camps, like
Right.
select the team,
Right.
play tournament among them. See, for example, sir, I have suggested when I was a technical officer for Goa State team.
Right.
What we are having a little bit not proper coaching going on.
Right.
They select coaches 1 month or 2 months before national comes.
Right.
What I have suggested them, every Saturday, Sunday, we'll have 2 teams from north and south, and we'll select the team, and national come next year. We will get topmost team
Right.
when we go for nationals.
Right.
But 1 month, within 15 days, 20 days, how boys will get, and they will get combination. Sport is a combination
Right.
game.
Right.
So they must have long-term planning for coaching.
Right.
So we have lot of talent, sir, in Goa as a
Right,
footballer.
sure.
I won 5 nationals for under 21 national for Goa State.
Correct.
Total 14 cups I won, sir, for Goa
Correct,
State
correct,
team,
correct.
including West Zone Championship. So I used to select best of the players, and I used to get good players advance. I used to see the match. I used to go village tournament where they are playing and all, and I used to select some of the players.
Right.
And Albert Kulaso was that time
Right.
its secretary, and he had given free hand for me to select the players whichever you want. And we won because, see, under 16, under 19, and under 21 that
Right.
tournament was
Right.
there. What happened in Goa, we used to be top fight. We used to give all the teams,
Sure.
because we used to have good camps.
Right.
2 months, 3, even half a month and 15, 20 days, it will be not possible.
Right.
Yeah,
True.
we have long time planning, sir, for
right.
coaching state team. We will definitely get a result, and they must select good coaches. That is what in my opinion, and they must select the coaches advance to select some players from each and every village, and select some players and call them for the camp every
Right.
Saturday, Sunday, and we can have the matches among themselves. We can participate in an open tournament also as a GFA,
Right.
GFA and GFA 11. Then only we will get the results. Otherwise, it will be not possible.
Udaybabu, tell me, as a leader, as also as a goldsmith, do you feel that in the interest of Goa and the trophy, a suggestion could be made where a committee of goldsmiths, senior goldsmiths who can be chosen by the government, all of you all jointly carry out a proper official inspection and evaluation of the trophy, and that valuation should be given. Based on that valuation and comparing what the original valuation is there, then the government can proceed further on any inquiry or investigation.
That is what I've said.
Yes.
The official valuation has to be done.
Right.
And for that, a panel of goldsmith,
Yes.
government can
be
appoint.
formed.
Yeah, government can form, government can appoint.
Right.
And it should be an official thing.
Right.
Government now, Churchill has raised that issue. Police complaint file करता म्हणलं yesterday. Suppose police complaint file जाल्यार फाल्यां government investigation करता. जाल्यार पयली प्रश्न येतलो ती आतां ट्रॉफी आसा ती सारकी आमी म्हणटा तशी it is gold plated or gold.
Right.
That government has to check.
I mean, government has to check through professionals.
To professional, yeah.
Like yours.
Yeah,
Right.
professional, like 2-3 goldsmith,
Right.
official appoint करून. And on that, investigation has to start.
Right. So and that needs to be done.
It is it is necessary. It has to be done.
What should the Goa Football Association do? Because the issue is now that when an investigation like this happens, it's like doing an investigation inside your own house. So how can the GFA proceed and do that?
See, in this regard, our president and the members already approach our lawyer,
right?
And he has suggested this thing which I cannot disclose you now, because some people may
sure
this thing. So there are a lot of things will come. GFA has already contacted our lawyer, legal lawyer, and Chechil Alema will take action and he will do whatever needful is required.
Correct. Okay, we'll kind of do one quick round of summaries. So if you can, just say what you need to do, and then if you can just sum up what do you feel should be done with regard to Goan football and also with regard to the Bandodkar Trophy.
Regarding one more thing, sir, we have a lot of grounds in Goa. Now, our time there were no ground, muddy grounds and all.
Correct.
Government must give us good ground for practice before going national, at least 1.5 months to 2 months.
Yes.
I
believe the village grounds, some of the village grounds also have been taken away by the big teams for practicing for year round.
And we are not getting the grounds.
Yes, I know this is the situation in Nagoa. I know for sure this is happening.
Nagoa. I am the one who brought them in top division, sir, and they participated in I-League also.
Yes.
I was the coach in 2nd division and 3rd division also. I was the coach, and then I brought them and I left, joined Salgaonkar. So that time it was muddy, but now it is tough ground.
Yes.
And we before camp going, since Churchill came, Churchill was the president, and I requested him. We were going Santos Trophy year before last and last year to give good ground, and luckily with him we got bamboling ground to practice. So that is the very, very crucial, and give good diet for boys also. That is getting from JFA side, of course. But ground they should provide
at village level, school level. You're talking the village.
Yeah, school. Every aspect, children must get good ground to practice. They are charging 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 for practice. Who can afford, sir, to practice
for village teams?
Yeah, any tournament or for camp also, we are not getting proper ground to practice. And then they are blaming coaches. So when we go there, we have to play better ground. So boys couldn't cope up with those other grounds.
That's a huge issue.
Yeah.
These are things that are very
important. Very important, sir.
Yeah. Because the time taken to do an inquiry over missing gold, that time could have been well spent for better things like this. But that is a funny part, that and also a sad part, that the biggest story that is gripping Goan football is the loss of gold in a major trophy. While it's not amusing, it's actually quite sad. But Udayba, some closing remarks on your part, both on the Bandodkar Trophy and the gold, and what can be done to revive Goan football.
बांदोडकर ट्रॉफी जी आसा आमी ल्हानपणापासून आयकतात, तशें म्हणटा अशें लोकांचे एक सेंटिमेंट्स आसा. लोकांक एक ते दिसता की खरेंच ते भांगराची परत ती ट्रॉफी परत मेळची, गोंयकारांक परत ती मेळची. खंय तरी आसतली ती, खंय तरी आसा ती पुलिसान सोदून काडची, गव्हर्मेंटान सोदून काडची, आनी ती ट्रॉफी परत सुरू जावची, बरें नेटान सुरू जावची. आमी आतां एक यंग भुरग्यांक आमी एनकरेज करूंक जाय. प्रत्येकाची एक ड्युटी, एक लोकांक फुडें हाडूंक जाय. कित्याक आतां ISL, IPL हे चेंज होल सिनारियो ऑफ स्पोर्ट्स.
दॅट्स रायट, करेक्ट.
लोकांक आतां दिसता की आपूण ल्हान क्लबान खेळपाक ना, आमी डायरेक्ट IPLाक खेळटले, डायरेक्ट ISLाक खेळटले, व्हडल्या टिमीन आमकां वतले, आमकां खूब पयशे मेळटले. ती भुरग्यांची आतां नजर तेजेर आसा. ल्हान स्पोर्ट्स हितून ल्हान क्लबान ते वचपाक आतां तयार ना. हे चेंज जावंक जाय, आनी गव्हर्मेंटान हे आतां एनकरेज करूंक जाय प्रत्येकाक फुडें हाडपाक. प्रत्येकाक टॅलंट पळोवन, प्रत्येकाक एक खंयचो ना खंयचो प्रत्येकाक मनशाक टॅलंट आसताच. तो तुवें आतां सांगला अशें आमचो यंग स्पोर्ट्स मिनिस्टर गोविंद गावडेबाब, तो पर्सनल इंट्रस्ट घेता की तेणें ती स्कीम तयार करूंक जाय भुरग्यांक, एक खंय तरी तांकां बेनिफीट दिवन. एक दिसता लोकांक की खंयची बांदोडकर ट्रॉफी, ओल्डेस्ट ट्रॉफी ती परत सुरू जावची. ही खंय तरी खरी भांगराची खंय तरी ट्रॉफी आसतली ती सोदून काडची. आनी एकूच म्हाजीच इच्छा आनी सगळ्या गोंयकारांची इच्छा आसतली की परत नेटार बांदोडकर ट्रॉफी, फुटबॉल ट्रॉफी परत सुरू जावची, आनी नॅशनल लेवलाचेर एक परत एक व्हडलें नांव जें आसा गोंयकारांक परत तें नांव मेळचें, हीच आमची सगळ्यांची एक इच्छा आसा ही परत.
Anthony Bob, last words on what the GFA should do. Number one, number two, as far as this regarding the investigations into the Bandodkar Trophy gold, and secondly, how can grassroots football be revived?
See, as I told you, this for Bandodkar Trophy, investigation will take place.
Right.
If need arise, we will meet CM also,
Right.
Sports Minister also, and take their opinion also, along with our legal
Team.
advisor
Advisors, yes.
and our team.
Right.
And the investigation will be done, as our Madkaikar said, that the trophy will be there somewhere. He told that trophy will be there somewhere. Police has to investigate and bring back that trophy, gold trophy, and we will start again with revive and everything, and we'll start the lost glory again. And for the football, I'm saying, for this thing, we as a GFA, I will put in mind this thing meeting that Taluka level camp has to be started. Taluka level, where young talent will come out in football or another, or all sports.
Right.
But I'm talking about football. If Taluka level camp starts, and we will get the new young talent footballers.
Right.
So, and our government, Dr. Pramod Sawant is always for football and sports, and our Govind Gowde is also for sports. So I beg them, our CM and Sports Minister, to give sufficient funds to all the necessary clubs or any association to run and to bring up our football and sports in Goa.
Well, we've had a discussion which has thrown quite a bit of light on the whole issue. We are ending on a somber note, but also on a note of hope, because while the issue of this debate was whether the much valued Bandodkar Gold Cup is really there or not, is the gold from that cup being stripped? Where is the gold? Why is the valuation of that cup so less now? These are questions that arise. But it's not merely a story of theft of gold of a trophy. The valuation of the trophy and the amount that the cup is valued at, say about 5 crores or 6 crores at this point of time. Look at what that amount could have done, both for the prestige of Goan football and also to help Goan football at times like these. That is most important, in the sense that more than the physical value of the particular cup, it is all about how the value of Goan football, grassroots football, can be enhanced, to see that we get back the glory of the olden days, and so that our players can also play with the same pride and passion and with simple pleasures of just loving football like Peter Wallace did. And I think on that note, we'll end this with a lot of hope and expectation in seeing Goan football reach its glory days yet again. Thank you very much, and I thank all my panelists for taking time off to participate.
Thank you, sir.